Morning, ladies and gents. So let's just to close our case study. So we were standing here. So we saw that the closing balance at the end of month number 59 will become the opening balance in month number 60. So then now we have a different table here. Repayment is happening right at the beginning. So as you can see here, for this table as well, stories they look at the same, right? The repayment on the last month must be equal to the opening balance in this case. On the first case, which was here, I told you that the repayment here must be equal to the balance with interest so that we have the zero balance. That was the rule. But now here, exactly the same story, repayment here must be equal to the opening balance, because if it's equal to the opening balance, therefore the the balance after repayment is equal to zero. And if it's equal to zero, the bank cannot charge you interest. And if the bank cannot charge you interest, it makes sense that the closing balance is equal to zero, because the closing balance is equal to the balance with interest or after repayment plus interest. So that's a bit in perspective what's happening. So as you can see here, and that's a perfect example of what I was telling you earlier on, we can see here that our last repayment is going to be different from the other repayment. We have been paying every single month 1,559.72, which is 72 cents. But now as you can see that for the last repayment, we are only going to be paying 1,530 and 21 cents, right? So that's our last repayment, and the last repayment now will be equal to the opening balance minus that repayment, which is equal to the opening balance, and that gave us an interest rate of 0%. Sorry, and the balance after repayment of 0 rand. So if you want to work out interest, go ahead and work it out. It's going to be that, right? Multiply with the interest rate, which is still 0. And then finally, as you can see here, our balance after repayment is 0 plus interest at 0 will then give us a 0 closing balance, which is the aim of the loan table. So as you can see here, we have more or less the same kind of calculation techniques, and the only difference is the structure of the table, where you make your repayment first after the opening balance, and the interest only calculated on the balance after repayment, with the slightly difference that on the last month, as you can see, the the repayment, the last payment that you make must be equal to the opening balance. And we also saw here that there's a situation whereby our repayment that we made on the last one was slightly smaller compared to the other repayment that we made for the previous 59 months. So that's basically here what a loan table looks like when we decide to have a repayment at the beginning of the month. So the take here are the fact that you need to know how to work out your opening balance. That's a must, right? And as I show you here, you can either work out the opening balance by just taking, in this case, 80% of the car price, or simply by just taking the car price minus the car price multiplied by the car price minus the deposit, right? And we know that to work out a deposit, it's simply the car price multiplied by the deposit percentage. In this case, I went for 20%. In some cases, it's going to be, or they are 10%, 5%, I'm not really sure. So but you can see that the method and the steps are more or less the same, guys. Now the other things as well that you be careful of are the interest rate, guys. They often give you interest rate in year, but as you can see, repayment tables or loan table are often period are often in months. So you must always make sure that you have that money interest rate somewhere that you use wisely, and also pay attention. As you can see here, 11.5% divided by 12, it's actually 0,0095833. But if you want to have it in percentage, it's going to be 0,95833%. So that's a slight difference that people often tend to be confused. To be able to get my interest rate, I use online loan calculators that are easy, available, and free, so it wasn't complicated for me to get those. So that is basically what I had to share with you these couple of sessions, right? And I hope that you gain something out of these sessions, and I'll probably see you very soon. Bye.